What's up, my dear friends? Mario Pedro Gould here, coming at you live from Kitsilano in Vancouver. And I just came out of a floating session. Floating session is pretty much, when you get into an isolation tank for about 90 minutes and you actually just float on some salt water and all your senses are taken away from you. You cannot hear anything, you cannot see anything. And what typically happens in that space, you actually get in touch with your unconscious mind for a whole 90 minutes. And in that period, you actually do discover what it is that you really are thinking about, on an hour-to-hour basis, on a daily basis. So this video is very, very, very timely and important because what I discovered for myself here as it pertains to what is the impact of the thoughts that you hold in your head as it pertains to the focus of your life and the direction that you're actually heading. So majority of the time, being a very ambitious entrepreneur, I do find myself 99% of the time focusing on the vision that I want to create for my life, or the vision that I want to create for the various business enterprises that I'm actually involved in. So as I got into the float tank today, my intention was to zone in and focus on my vision of one of the businesses that I'm running that is struggling very much. And so I said I'm going to go into the float tank and spend 90 minutes and honing on my vision and honing on my priorities. But the funny thing that happened, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a very, very valuable experience, the funny thing that happened is when I got into the float tank and I started going through, my relaxation phase, just trying to get my body to get comfortable, I started noticing that I was not thinking about business. I was not thinking about the direction of my future. I was not thinking about the vision for my life. And actually, I was thinking about something that is very, very, I'll just say it's very, very funny. I was thinking about, I'm a single guy right now, and I get to meet, a lot of fantastic, beautiful, intelligent, attractive women that I actually interact with. And throughout my whole 90-minute phase, ladies and gentlemen, this was so crazy. The whole 90-minute phase, I realized that the majority of the thoughts that I have in my conscious mind as it pertains to this past week has revolved around 5 different women that I know. I'm not dating or seeing them, but I know, and I've gone out with them, had lunch, had dinners, and things of that nature. And my mind couldn't leave thinking about these women that I had got to interact with. And I'm thinking of, well, are these women, is any one of them for me? Is anyone of them think on the same level as me? Is any one of them successful in body, mind, and spirit? What is it that I actually want from a woman? And my thoughts kept revolving around this women. The reason I share this with you is, honesty is a great thing. Honesty is a great thing. A lot of us do not want to admit that we are having thoughts that are more than noble. We always want to project that we always have very noble thoughts, but I'm human and I do have thoughts that some would consider are not very virtuous. So it occurred to me that when I was actually going through this 90-minute float session and I got out of the float, I realized that a lot of my energy over the past maybe 2-3 days has been directed towards an avenue that has got nothing to do with my vision, has got nothing to do with my businesses, has got nothing to do with the direction of my future. And what is so important about this process, ladies and gentlemen, is if you actually take the time in your own life. I've given you an example of my life, but in your own life, if you spend the time to actually quiet your mind, you can use all sorts of tools. You could use meditation, you could use meditation is probably the best one that I know, but you can use the flotation tank and actually discover what are some of the thoughts that you're holding in your mind on a day-to-day basis. You would be blown away. You'll be blown away because you'll realize very quickly that on the one hand, You may say that, hey, you want to be healthy, hey, you want to be fit, hey, you want to be successful, hey, you want to have great relationships, hey, you want to have a successful blog, hey, you want to have a successful real estate business. Whatever it is that you say that you want, you will notice very quickly that it's different from the majority of thoughts that are actually the majority of thoughts that are actually playing at the background in your unconscious mind. Now, the thoughts that play in the background of your conscious mind, in your unconscious mind, the majority of the thoughts that are playing over there, ladies and gentlemen, are actually the thoughts that dictate the majority of actions that you take on a day-to-day basis. So I'll use this example. This perfect example of mine was the thoughts that I had of these different ladies that I was interacting with resulted in me over the past maybe the past week, which is a very long time for me. Over the past week, I noticed majority of my energy has gone towards interacting with them, communicating with them, and this is a very hard conversation to share with you guys. But anyway, majority of my energy has been going towards interacting with this women, and that is actually taking my focus away from my purpose, the things that I want to accomplish. And what is it that I actually want for my life? I want to be focused on my business, I want to be focused on my vision, and if I am actually choosing to date someone, I want to be focused on one woman so my energy is not scattered. So this live discussion here today is to really, really encourage you and empower you to be brave enough, be courageous enough to go inside within you and discover what are some of the thoughts that you're holding, number one. Number two, are the thoughts that you're holding, are they actually in alignment with the vision that you have for yourself? And number three, I am here to encourage you to be very honest with yourself and accepting of yourself, of the nature of the thoughts that you have, in your unconscious mind. It's because being honest with yourself is actually one of the first keys to transformation of your life, to the life more abundant. So anyway, it's a beautiful day here in Vancouver. Just had my float. I think I'm going to go and enjoy me some beautiful vegan food, and maybe go and have a hatha yoga class and watch the NBA finals, baby. What is it that you're going to do today? What are you going to do today? Enjoy yourselves, take some time and discover what it is that you're thinking in your unconscious mind. Have yourself a magnificent day.